When I was 15, I stabbed somebody. It was an older guy, and it was a bit of a gang fight. He was armed, I was armed, and I stabbed him 9 times. The university's 4 miles away. No one ever said to you, oh, there's a university there, you know, you could go to college, you know, you might be a different future somewhere else. It didn't really happen a lot when I was younger. You know, obviously the miners' strike greatly affected this area, and a few of us turned to crime. And at first it was crimes such as breaking into places for food and actually stealing fuels. And then that kind of escalated ever so slightly into burgling shops and commercial enterprises. And the progression from there led on to armed robbery, drug dealing, and just crimes against the person, crimes of violence, going collecting money for people, and just a whole range of crime. I've always been quite soft-hearted. I've always wanted to help people. I just didn't know how to do it in the right way, I guess. People always came to us with the problems, or sometimes they were a lot weaker and they were being bullied, or, you know, they were my friends, so I would kind of stick up for them and get involved in their situations. So the crime, no one ever told us it was wrong, and I didn't look at feeding myself or stealing fuel as being wrong. And if someone needed punching or beating up us, I didn't see any wrong in that, because that's the kind of thing that they were doing to the people who were being, you know, who they were scaring. I fell out with a local family, and one of them assaulted my mum. I bumped into him at Blackpool and I viciously assaulted him. I bit his ear off and tried to blind him, and I was given a 6-year sentence for that. During the early part of that sentence, there was a lot of fighting done and no rehabilitation, but I started to do different courses when I was away, with an eye on getting parole. That was my blag, making on that I wanted to change, when really I was very fearful of change. But in doing them courses, people said, hey, you know, you're quite good at this. So that was kind of the first time that anyone had said outside of my family that I was good for anything. That kind of gave me a feeling of self-worth. So it was just meeting people who were making a difference, and I thought, I want some of that out. That's who I want to be. That's what I want to do. I know it sounds cliched and corny, but I decided to put something back and to actually stay within the communities and help to try and make a difference. We started a gym in this local community that was just a little more than a shed. There was no toilet in it or anything like that. But we were quite successful out of there. We had some good coaches at the shed, and we managed to win some belts in the northeast. And we've relocated now to Bearpark. We've got cage fighting guys come, we've got people who do the doors, just normal run-of-the-mill people. The feedback that I get is that they really enjoy being here, and you know, they like the space, even though it is run down.
It's nice the way it's old school, isn't it? Nothing too fancy, it's just everything you need, really. It means everything to us. I mean, it keeps us fit, it makes you feel great, it keeps you off the streets.
Nah, I don't work at the minute. Gets on your nerves sometimes, like you start to get you down, but that's why I've got the boxing and so on. Keeps your mind set a bit more.
I work together. Yeah. You tend to be so much more than a boxing coach. You know, people might be having relationship problems, or you might get young people in there who have a whole range of different issues, and you tend to be, you know, their ear and their guide. You tend to get involved in their lives as well. We have a boxing dinner in 2 weeks at a place called Ramside Hall, and the idea of that is to kind of raise some money for the gym, right from getting the roof repaired to getting some new equipment, tracksuits, trainers. Then we can have a little fund where we can help them out with that. Most people who come along, I've got no airs and graces, so I will tell them that I have been in jail, that I have had my own issues, and that kind of makes it a level playing field, doesn't it? I'm not being judgmental or anything. How can I be after the life I've had? So that's what I tend to start with, and we tend to move on from there. And I've had my successes, so yeah, I'm happy with that. You know, I really care about people, and I want to help people, and I want to really make a difference. There'll always be an element who don't trust us, but I can't do anything about that. All I can say is that I am here, I am making a difference, and I have made a change. I bumped into the guy last year who had stabbed, and I asked for forgiveness, really, and he said, listen, I came with a hammer and you had a knife, and we ended up giving each other a hug, and it was all right. We kind of made the peace with each other after all that time.